was to use GPS. I know the routes to take to my work. I know all that stuff. I want to see where GPS takes me. I don't really use GPS. Part of it is I learned to drive this entire country before GPS existed, at least in a civilian sense. And I still use the Randal McNally Motor Carriers Atlas at work. And a lot of that, while the rest of the country was getting used to GPS, sorry about that. None of it was really good for trucks. And you see all these videos of these I'm a truck driver if you don't know. And you see these videos of these trucks on these roads they shouldn't be on, and GPS would put you out in the middle of a field somewhere, which is not someplace you want to be in a vehicle that's anywhere from 65 to about 73 foot long. On average, closer to 65. And that just is. So you stuck with old reliable. And when I started out, sorry for the coughing. One of these days, I'll probably use like a cough drop before I start my chat. Maybe I won't cough. But anyways, that is too high a care. Anyways, I started traveling this country with just Randal McNally motor carrier's guide that you can find in any truck stop, anything like that. You can find it in Walmart. And if you do make a trip across this country, I highly suggest that you buy one. You know, what if something happens to your phone? What if anything else? You can look at a big sort of grand view of your map. And if you're in a larger vehicle, you can get a better idea of what roads you need to be on instead of last minute GPS telling you no. But it took so long for any real GPS to be viable for trucks that I just never really used it. And you know, you can't really cough all nice and cute and everything like that when you've got a helmet on. The pollen down here is crazy right now. I think we have 2 different species of plant that's like raping everyone. They're putting their pollen out to copulate with the other trees, and unfortunately we're all breathing it. But anyways, I can never justify spending that much money when I could spend 20-30 bucks, and they're like 40 and 50 bucks, and I think the one that I really like is probably 60 to 80 now for a motor carrier's Atlas. You can hear the GPS in the background there probably. I don't know. I'll find out on the recording. But all you need is just a cheap paper one. Me, as a professional, I like to get the big laminated laminated one. For the simple reason, I can take a dry erase marker and I can trace out my route with a dry erase marker and wipe it off the page later and kind of look at what I'm doing if I need to plan a trip. But at this point in my driving career, I don't really look at the map that much. I mean, I don't need a map to tell me how to get from Houston, Texas to Seattle, Washington. Why would I need a map for that? I've done it hundreds of times. Or to Champlain, New York, or Miami, Florida, or just pick a town, you know? They need to be able to change the GPS voice. Put in a celebrity like Mr. T or something like that, yelling at you. Be like, "You fool! I said turn left," and just like hurl insults at you. Have like Mr. T or Arlie Ermy, someone who's really gonna, insult you good. Put that voice. I mean, we have the AI now. Can we do that? If it's out there, let me know, because I would almost be interested in purchasing that. Just to have them, gives you GPS and stuff for car routes, and I can't take, a lot of that. And just to have them insulting me, telling me to take a U-turn, to take this road, to take that road, that would be awesome. Yeah, I'm like Gen X. I'm not the generation of people that can't take an insult. So, anyways, I put a location in here. I put it into the GPS thing on my phone, and I'm gonna see where the hell it takes me. And we're gonna go on a little adventure together. I kind of looked at it ahead of time. I kind of know where I'm going, but we're gonna figure this out. This light is way too slow. Talking with people sitting next to you is just weird. They probably think I'm crazy. Never mind the big camera on the front of my helmet. I might be doing a moto vlog. Might be sneezing here in a minute. I'm fighting a sneeze at the moment. Off-roading in the intersection, small town Texas. Lovely. I need to get this thing inspected too. At some point this month, I need to get this bike inspected and do my registration and all that lovely stuff that comes along with vehicle ownership and the government stealing from the people. And in Texas, we did probably the stupidest thing we could have possibly done. We did a couple of really stupid things this year. We had one dumbass down there in like Southwest Texas, has a district more populated by javelina and deer and wild hog. Yes, javelina and wild hog are two different things than people, and he decided to make lane splitting and lane filtering illegal, and he got that bill passed. It's like, do you just want bikers to die? I mean, I can understand, speed limits with it, not doing 180 between two semis. I drive a truck, please don't do that. But not letting me filter up in an intersection or something, literally putting my life in danger from the asshole that's looking at their phone behind me. That is just stupid. But what was the other stupid thing we did? I don't know, it'll come to me in a minute. The amount of stupidity in one state. You're talking about legislators. That's on both sides of the aisle. They're so disconnected from the general population. They're like, this is the grand picture of what we think the population that voted for us wants. No respect to what we actually want. Let's pass this law. Oh, the general fucking of America. Okay, yeah. Here's what I was forgetting. You don't have to get a state inspection anymore in Texas. What you do have to get is an emissions test. So that, that inspection where they check your lights and everything else, make sure your car stops. And I know so many people that never check anything on their car, much less a bike or anything else. That is the one time of the year somebody might say, hey, that noise you've been hearing when you step on your brake, you need to go get new brakes. Well, they don't have to do that anymore. That one I could kind of agree with. Okay, they're going to be on the road. It's a public health you're putting the public at risk. Pay X amount of dollars. We're going to inspect it. If your car's not roadworthy, you can't drive it. Okay, I can kind of get that. Part of me says, well, freedom and risk, and you should be able to drive whatever the fuck you want to. But, yeah, I'm going to get downrated with my language. Downrated. But, the other part is I don't want somebody's wheel coming off in front of me and smacking me on my bike. But that's the part of the inspection that they got rid of. But you still have to get the emissions test. So I don't know what to do with my motorcycle now. I need to call the place. Thankfully I took this route and I went by that place back there, which is F&F State Inspection in Huffman, Texas. I've been getting my inspections there for over 20 years. They are an awesome place. The man that owns it is just amazing. I have nothing but good to say about those people. And I also would never go to a shop that does inspections to get an inspection done on anything. Are you crazy? No. Let's go to a business to whom it is profitable to fail my vehicle, and let's have them inspect the vehicle, especially in this trying economy with inflated prices and everyone struggling to get by. And let's have them, with all the motivation in the world to fail me over bullshit, and have them inspect my vehicle. No, let's not do that. Let's please not do that. So I go there, and they are awesome. But yeah, you still have to get emissions, but you don't have to get your vehicle inspected. Isn't that just stupid? Why don't we do away with the emissions? Better yet, let's put out a bunch more two-strokes out here. Relive some older days. I miss that sound. They'll bring back leaded gas. I miss the smell. Call me crazy, but I think leaded gas smells better. That might be what's wrong with me. Hogging down to the gas station as a child, filling up a jug. It wasn't even a gas jug. Sometimes it was a glass jug. And putting leaded gas and bringing it back to the house to pour in a lawnmower. You need a different voice, lady. I gotta figure out a way to change the GPS voice if I'm gonna use this thing. Like, for real. I think that's where I used to turn. I think I know that route. I don't know if this one's trying to take me. Hopefully it's not trying to take me on the tollway. I should still have tolls banned on this thing. I hope so. Is that what it's doing? Hopefully there's a feeder road I can take. I don't mind toll roads when there's some disgruntled employee there to take my money. Something in my face. But I tend to boycott them when they take the employees out. Well, it may not be the best job in the world, but pays better than Walmart and that sort of thing, usually, I believe. I don't know, I've never worked one. I know it's a government job with benefits. Might help to be in the right gear. I'm still not in the right gear. Oh, cool. No tollway. Awesome. No through trucks. Half the places I deliver to have signs no through trucks, or just no trucks. There's a place I went to in Pennsylvania. I can't remember the name of the place, but it is no trucks. When you pull on that road, they will pull you over. But you're delivering there, so you're fine. You go down there, but the state of Pennsylvania, I believe it was Pennsylvania, rented a space on the property of the receiver where you were going, whether you were picking up or receiving from them, what have you. And when you got through and you pulled out of the door, they say, hey, pull over here. And they would give you a DOT inspection. Shit like that should be illegal. That should be illegal. But I mean, I've been inspected by officers who literally told me I have to write you a ticket for something. I'm like, no, you don't. You don't have to write me a ticket for anything. And what was it, a year and a half ago? I was up there by Atlanta, Texas, and I'm standing there looking at the light. I'm like, those things work. I walk back there, I turn them on, lights are blinking, everything's working how it's supposed to. And he says, they're not working. We're looking at the lights. I believe I did a video on it if you scroll back in my feed long enough. I got a ticket for lights that worked. They were on. The lights worked perfectly, and he still wrote me a ticket for them being off. Not only did he write me a ticket, what was it? Oh, because it was all of them. It was like a out of service violation. Somehow it was out of service. Oh yeah, because all of them weren't working. The brake lights, the nothing is what he put down on there. And I'm like, they work. I guess he didn't think I knew how to check the brake lights, which is not very hard. I mean, if you got a trolley bar, just pull your trolley bar back with something, walk to the back, turn all your lights off, pull the trolley bar down, and walk to the back of your trailer. And oh my God, your brake lights, they're either working or they're not. It's amazing how that works. If not, if you can't find that, you can find a stick, you can find a block of something, you can put something on that brake pedal, you can walk back there, and you can do the same thing. You know what I mean? I'm all congested. I'm truly sorry about the coughing. I have limited time to film. Limited time to feel. Yeah, there's a statement on life right there. I have limited time to feel. I'm dead inside. If you want me to feel anything, it can only be between the hours of 3 and 6. I think this is going to end up on a dirt road. Pretty sure I know where I'm at. Let me downshift this time. Let me see, no two trucks. Isn't this a restaurant up here? Oh yeah, it is a restaurant. Okay, yeah. Those are kind of little places in the middle of nowhere that will give you kick-ass food. Oh, it's not open. It might be a party place. I don't know. Find that taco stand in the middle of nowhere out here. You know, it's an intersection. People go through there for a reason. Stop there. Just stop. Get you some tacos. This is Texas. You got to get tacos. And they're not burritos. They are tacos. If you feel that word breakfast burrito coming out of your mouth, kindly take off your shoe or boot, find a hard surface, and kick your big toe into it as hard as you can. Do that enough times and you will train yourself not to call a taco a burrito. But anyways, I digress. Beautiful scenery. They're all rice fields. A lot of them have been turned into grass fields because, well, it's good for that, for growing hay and for growing sod. But most of this was grass fields and cane fields. Well, not grass fields, forget, rice fields and cane fields. Kind of like Louisiana. If you live in Louisiana and you're looking at this and you say, that looks familiar, well, this is East Texas. It looks just like Louisiana. Same gators, same hogs, same everything. Those gators don't get to the Sabine River and say, well, that's Texas, we can't go over there. No, they're all the way down Corpus Christi. Actually down to Brownsville. And Texas and Florida, I think, both of us actually have actual tropical climates in the tip. Where, what do they call that? It's not, I think, subtropical, or there's some kind of word for it for here, but it gets hotter. Talk to somebody down there in Brownsville, it gets hotter than here. Now, we both get hot as hell in the summer. But, we've got crocodiles too. You get down in the tip or you get down in the ocean water, like they were showing this gator out in the Gulf after one of the storms, and I'm looking at it and that's not a gator. That's a crocodile, because guess what, there are saltwater crocs in the Gulf of Mexico, believe it or not. Yes, I'm used to looking at railroad tracks. I'm fighting the urge to put my blinkers on and stop, because, well, I pull a tanker for a living, you know. I have to stop at all the railroad tracks. Guy over here bought a car from me, or he used to work there. First new car that I bought my wife. It was a Hyundai Elantra. That was like our first new car. We had new cars when we got together a long time ago. But then just life stomping you down, that sort of thing. And I keep vehicles for a long time, and vehicles break, economic crashes and things happening in life, and you've got like a little standard pickup that the starter went out 6 months ago. And so you leave work, pushing it down the road, hop in and pop the clutch because you ain't got the money for a new starter. I mean, you got a newborn, you got everything else and the bills and all that shit. Yeah, college ended pretty quick. Long story. It's like you got a class you can take on this day and a class you can take on that day. And I had my schedule worked to where I had 2 days, which was like Tuesday and Thursday, that I could actually take off and go to class. At least I could take off part of the day, because the one job I worked the other part of the day. house note jumped through the roof, and I had a newborn. I was working 2 jobs. I was driving a truck all day and a bus all night. Yes, I know you're not supposed to do that, but I was doing it because I needed money. And I think I had algebra one day, what was it, history the other day that I was taking. I passed both of them half asleep. I was getting less than 20 hours of sleep a week. Just exhausted. I never even looked back. 15 years later, I'm like, did I even pass those classes? And I called the college up and oh yeah, you passed. So I passed college algebra half asleep. And yeah, you know, running on instinct and just going through the motions, that's fantastic. That is awesome. But just that exhaustion. And I had like this little standard Chevy S10 because I lost my Jeep. I had a Jeep, I couldn't afford the payment, it got repoed. I picked up this cheap $200 piece of crap Chevy S10, little red thing. And well, all kinds of things went wrong with it. But yeah, I literally push-started that thing for like a year and a half. I rebuilt the motor. I didn't put a starter on it. It's like, I can rebuild the motor, I can put a starter on it. You know, I pulled the motor, there's a tree in my front yard, the limb that I can use for that. I've done it a few times. Whoa. Why is that downshifting? There we go. And, you know, you pull the motor out, you put it in the bed of the pickup, you go through it, putting up the little 4-cylinder. What happened was they had a problem with that little peg searing off on the timing gear on the camshaft. And I went to replace that, and when I was going to replace the camshaft, and at that point I'm like, the whole thing needed to be gone through anyways. So I went through, I did the whole motor, I put it back in. Still didn't put a starter on it. That was like at the end of my funds. And yeah, that was at the end of my funds, was the starter. So I rebuilt the motor and I was still push starting this thing. Hey, just poor white trash. What the hell? I'm not that far from an area here where if you want to go gator hunting, they will guarantee you at least 14 gators per acre. So alligator in the road for you truck drivers out there. If you're driving through here, look for 2 different things. And you do not want to hit that son of a bitch on a bike. That's just not going to work out good for you. I think there's a cattle guard up here somewhere, if I remember. I've been on this road before. I was going to say Mexican Americans, but no, a lot of these are Mexican Americans that are here. There's some white people too. There's a lot of Mexicans out here. Those people are really, really smart in how they do things. As far as, you may complain when they come over here, they live so many people in a house and all that, they save their money. But they come out someplace like here, and they build a house from scratch. They build what they want, they build it all. We're talking, they buy the property, cash money. They build the house, cash money. They do it themselves. And they got a nice little piece of property. They got a nice little piece of land. You know, they're very, what's the right word for it? Someone with literal brain damage. The language portion of my brain searching for a word. They're intelligent in how they do things like that. Whereas the American culture would probably learn something from them. In the way, in this like throwaway culture, we buy all this shit that we don't need and throw it away. You know, they still do things that we've forgotten, things that our grandparents did. You know? It's probably been 20, 30 years since I've went over a cattle guard on a motorcycle. So, I guess if I bust my ass, it's recorded. Did they pave this thing? Oh my God, they paved it. This was all dirt. Last time I was on this road, this was a dirt road and it kept washing out. Holy shit. That is awesome. I could probably come through here at night or one morning and get a good view of all them chemical plants for my camera. All the canals and the levees, the dikes, chemical plants, literally rice field, cane fields being used for hay and you know, sod farming, and dikes and levees and chemical plants. And I know this is the other side of Houston, but if you listen to that song, Keep the Wolves Away, Bill and Gossett, this is the other side of Houston. This is over, you know, other side of San Jacinto. He's talking about Brazos. But, you know, it's still, there's Galveston Bay. You keep wanting to go south right here. That's just what it is. And just that life, you know, took my first breath where the muddy Brazos flows into the Gulf of Mexico. Skyline colored by chemical plants. That is here, baby. That is where I live. That is where I'm from. Grew up between here and Oklahoma, but I got some family up there that don't look like me. I got a great grandmother on the rolls, but that's a whole different story for another day. Anyways, I'm gonna catch y'all later. GPS has got me close enough to work that I'm gonna have to cut off this phone now. I hope you enjoyed it. All of you are awesome. Please like, share, and subscribe. All that good stuff.